Hey there, party people. Don't you just love how unbearably cringe the title of this video is? Oh, it took me so long to come up with an idea for this character as I awaited the day that I can say that I am indeed creating my own girlfriend. Specifically, a girlfriend for the man himself, Rentaro, as this is a 100 Girlfriends OC. Now, while I'm not actually caught up on the manga due to the fact that I want to keep the pace with the official English release, I did go ahead and take a sneak peek at future girlfriends. Obviously, I want to keep overlap to a minimum, even though I'm fine with some, and there is indeed some. My approach to creating this character was simple. What girl would I like to see be introduced to 100 Girlfriends? And the list of attributes was so long that I couldn't use all of them. But eventually I narrowed it down to one thing I wanted the most. We got strong girlfriends and we got big girlfriends. But I want a girlfriend that is absolutely ripped. I'm talking about those biceps and triceps, the thighs and the calves, and most important of all, I'm talking about the abs, baby. Still, that's only the physical body, so I had to come up with something to put inside the head, a brain to the brawn, if you will. So, why does she have muscles? Is she a bodybuilder? Another athlete to add to the mix? Perhaps even an actual wrestler to match with Karane's impromptu wrestling moves? No, that's too straightforward. Simple is good, definitely keep it simple, but add a little curve to it. She works out to be strong, yes, but most of all, to be intimidating. She wants to be an imposing figure, so that a quick look can tell you, don't mess with me. But then, why? Why that? Well, because there is a niche that hasn't been properly filled in the Rentaro family just yet. The delinquent. Oh yeah, this is going to be a bad girl. I can see the Sukeban aesthetic now. Mostly because the character's already created, but I saw it before the character was created too. And, quick Japanese lesson, Sukeban means delinquent girl, and is the female counterpart to Bancho. Both are an aesthetic that frequently pops up in Japanese media, so you'll likely recognize it upon seeing it if you're enough of a weeb, or just straight up from Japan. But now we got the setup, a big, tough-looking delinquent. Why not go the extra step and make her the daughter of a Yakuza family? That could lead to plenty of story beats and moments for the Rentaro family to be involved with. Still, that can't be all there is to her. This is 100 Girlfriends. Things got to be silly. And honestly, call me unoriginal all you like, but I'm going with the tried and true method of the personality doesn't quite match the physicality. I'm thinking that while she may indeed be a bit of delinquent and likes to look intimidating, she is also a pure maiden at heart with some amount of childlike innocence within her. So things that are lewd and untoward fluster her, and she likes to play and joke around and would be very good with the small ones. And also, she very much still believes in Santa and strives to actually do good all year round so that she can stay on his nice list. I'm being very serious about that, as it also means that her moral compass is a bit wacky, and where she draws the line between naughty and nice can be a bit askew. For instance, beating the absolute snot out of some punk that accidentally bumped into Rentaro or another girlfriend is totally within the realms of nicehood. But littering is a grave sin and she will exact righteous fury upon you. Still, with that in mind, I don't want this to become a thing of, oh, I wish I was more dainty and girly and blah blah blah, shut it. She is very proud of her physique, and very much likes to be praised about it. Of course, she doesn't like being made fun of. That still hurts, but it's never like she wants to change herself. Now at this point, I think I've kept you all waiting long enough for me to show you the fruits of my character conception. And said fruits are brought to you by the wonderful and amazing Alza. They are a pleasure to work with and are amazingly talented. Go check them out with a link in the description below, and without further ado, here is my 100 girlfriends OC, Hosetsu Hoshikage. Oh, isn't she just wonderful? I forgot to mention, I'd really like freckles too, and we need more freckles amongst the girlfriends, and I won't be taking no for an answer. And her eyes have stars in them, and both her given and family names have star in them. It's so on the nose that I almost hate myself for it, but we have the overall Sukeban-inspired look, from the streaked hair and modified school uniform showing off the abs, with a longer skirt, and pantyhose that she purposefully rips by flexing her legs. She also carries around a wooden sword, specifically a Tsuburito, which is a heavier version of a normal wooden sword or bokken designed for practice swinging. Side note, it is also the kind of bokken legends say Miyamoto Musashi carved from an ore to kill Sasuke Kojiro. And from my sneak peeking, I do know that there is a kendo girlfriend. Granted, I don't really know what her whole deal is, but maybe these two can be friends or more likely acquaintances before they were both part of Rentaro's family. And another facet to Hosetsu's personality that I think would be a fun recurring gag would be if she was an accidental charmer. Like, without intending to, she accidentally sweeps people off their feet, giving very unexpected knightly vibes, which is a result of her cavalier nature mixing with how she wants to be a good person ultimately. It is a perfect storm for both Princess Rentaro moments and Yuri fan service. But speaking of Rentaro, I do have a vague idea of how the two could meet, and Hosetsu ends up joining the Rentaro family. Rentaro could be out on a shopping trip one day, searching for a gift for one of the girlfriends, or maybe all of them if it's Christmas. May God save him if that's the case. But it ends up being really hard to find what he's looking for, and he just manages to find his way to a bad part of town in his search, where he does meet a little bit of trouble, but also Hosetsu and zing! Hosetsu ends up shooing away actual troublemakers and ends up helping Rentaro, and also starts going back to school after finding out they go to the same one. Before this moment, she would have went very infrequently. She is torn up about the harem, not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing to be doing it, and she does try to get a feel for Rentaro, but ends up scaring a good number of the girls, mostly due to her intensity and her nervousness leading to more than a few misunderstandings. At one point, her being in her own little world trying to figure out what to do about Rentaro, who she does have moments with here and there where they start to get to know each other, but they are separated before Rentaro can ask her out. During one such daydreaming, she ends up in a fight with a rival gang, and they schedule a showdown. After this point, Rentaro would finally have a chance to ask her out, but Hosetsu, knowing that she's about to be in a throwdown with a gang all by herself, as her family's not giving her backup, she ends up declining, not wanting to burden him with that. But when it comes time for the showdown, Rentaro shows up by Hosetsu's side in Bancho gear. And what's more, he was able to talk to the girls, and they show up in Sukeban garb as well. Now outnumbered, and seeing Hosetsu fully emboldened as she is backed up by quote-unquote her gang, the other gang backs down, but she and Kanane, and maybe one or two of the others, I don't really know, still beat the hell out of them just to send them packing true and proper. And with that, Hosetsu has a big cry over how happy the whole thing made her, and she is officially a part of the Rentaro family. Or something like that. The idea could use work and some fleshing out, but that's future me's problem, maybe. For this video, the concept's great to me. But what do you think? Do you like Hosetsu? How about my idea for her introduction? And was it okay that the first half of this video was me going over how my character creation process goes? I have been asked multiple times how I make OCs, so I thought it might be interesting to go over the process in one of these videos since I make so many of them. So be sure to give me some feedback in the comments and like the video and subscribe to the channel for more OCs and 100 Girlfriends content. But with that, thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you next time in the void. Later.